Dennis Nedry was not appreciated enough. The Indoraptor was tortured and neglected, and Dr. Wu simply took risks which are necessary for every scientific breakthrough. In today's video, I'm gonna defend every Jurassic Park villain, because somebody has to. The world is quick to blame those who have futuristic visions, big ambitions, or have to be violent under certain circumstances. But let's try and see it through their eyes. And we're gonna start with Dennis Nedry. Guy was the walking midlife crisis, okay? Maybe he figured he could spend his life on a luxurious tropical island as a millionaire and not as a poor programmer on Isla Nublar. But let's not forget that this man was hired to design, maintain, and secure the entire operating system of a dinosaur theme park. And he did it perfectly, like a true professional devoted to his job. Is it so hard to believe that this exceptional employee with these countless responsibilities is going to ask for a raise? An honest, realistic raise? Would you do the same in his situation? And what does he get in return for all the work he does, for his loyalty, for everything he gave to InGen? He gets mocked and blamed. So what does he do? He seeks out people who respect him and who can appreciate his skills and talents. You may say he did it because he was greedy, but I say he did it because he was an entrepreneur who simply went where he would be more appreciated. And yes, maybe he was careless in his actions, but aren't we all from time to time? And should this man be judged for that? He may have released the dinosaurs, but he wasn't the one who created them in the first place. Peter Ludlow. And another entrepreneur had a different kind of vision. Peter Ludlow. He simply wanted to expand his uncle's legacy, an island full of dinosaurs. Should they just rot there for nothing? Ludlow simply wanted to capture the T-Rex and bring him to San Diego for a new park. Can you blame him for wanting to save his family company? And if the T-Rex hadn't escaped the ship and caused troubles across the city, Ludlow might have been remembered as another Walt Disney. And another member of Ludlow's team is often portrayed as the heartless psychopath, Dieter Stark. And while that may be the case, I remind you that the role of this professional was to capture the dinosaurs on the island. He was a hunter, not a dinosaur psychiatrist. He had a clear mission, and he followed it. Vic Hoskins. Vic Hoskins was another professional. He wanted to train velociraptors as soldiers and turn them into professional killers. Killers that can follow orders. You say animal cruelty, I say you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Hoskins wanted to create a weapon that would save the lives of human soldiers. Hoskins saw Owen training raptors like elite army squads, and ideas came. He saw potential in the dinosaurs and wanted to give them a bigger purpose. And for his unselfish patriotism and an attempt to serve his country by creating a powerful weapon, all Hoskins got was blame. But can you really blame him? Can you blame Oppenheimer for designing the first nuclear bomb? Somebody was always gonna do it. Might as well be him. Eli Mills. It seems like the so-called villains in the Jurassic Park franchise are often just visionaries. And so was Eli Mills. When the volcano erupted, he saved the dinosaurs. Sure, he wanted to make some money, but don't we all? Mills is a businessman. A good businessman takes care of his investments. You could even say that some of the things he did are heroic. He not only saved the dinosaurs from the erupting volcano, he also sent a mercenary team to Isla Nublar to retrieve a rib from the remains of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The DNA from this rib became the base for Dr. Wu's creation of the new hybrid, the Indoraptor. You can call this unethical, but the world needs businessmen, just like it needs crazy scientists and monstrous hybrid dinosaurs. Ken Wheatley. Basically, we can safely say that those who are labeled as villains are often just misunderstood souls. And so is Ken Wheatley. This guy was just a teeth collector. You can't blame hunters for taking the trophy from their prey, or paleontologists for collecting fossils. In the end, he was just a professional mercenary with a risky hobby. And that hobby is what got him killed in the end. Violent death of a violent character. Some say villain. I say necessary violence. When you fight the monsters, you better have some merciless mercenaries, or it's a fight already lost. Gunnar Eversole. Gunnar Eversole is another misunderstood businessman. He sees dinosaurs as rare goods, like art or weapons, and you can't blame a businessman for that perception. Football managers who seek out rare talent see the players as goods as well. Eversole is also a professional host of the Secret Dinosaur Auction, and he presents these prehistoric predators in a marvelous and prestigious way, like the artistic masterpieces they are. Now, the only question is what these rich people are actually gonna do with their dinosaurs. Louis Dodgson. And talking about wealthy businessmen, Dodgson, we've got Dodgson here! The man who saw everything and was there from the beginning. You say villain, I say ambitious businessman. And ambition wasn't illegal the last time I checked. Sure, Dodgson did have a questionable way of doing things, a questionable haircut, and a shadowy past. But great men often do. And back in 1993, what did he actually do? He hired a programmer to collect dinosaur embryos. You say corporate espionage, I say free market. InGen had a monopoly on resurrected apex predators. Dodgson simply believed in capitalism, one where more than one company gets to work on genetically engineered dinosaurs. And in 2022, he's running Biosyn. He's funding research, building a sanctuary in the Dolomite Mountains, dinosaurs roaming free in a controlled paradise made for them. You can't fight the monsters, but you can control them the best way possible. And that's what Dodgson tried. Sure, he also wanted a monopoly over global food supply, and he's called a villain for that? You don't call Coca-Cola or Nestle villains? Soyonas Santos. And for a successful monopoly, you need good logistics. And who's better for this than Soyonas Santos? Dinosaurs were free worldwide, causing trouble. Governments were powerless. Under these circumstances, black market deals were inevitable. Soyona created a perfect, well-organized dinosaur smuggling group. But is she a villain? Without demand, there is no supply. Al Capone didn't force people to drink alcohol during Prohibition. Soyonas Santos didn't force Dodgson and other wealthy buyers to purchase the dinosaurs. She created order from chaos. You say villain, I say logistics genius who saw opportunity where others saw just hybrid monsters. Dr. Henry Wu. And finally, we have the famous Dr. Wu. Villain? The man was a genius scientist. He had unlimited funding and freedom to experiment and be creative. The Indominus and Indoraptor weren't mistakes. They were proof of endless possibilities. If society can't handle possibilities, that's not on Dr. Wu. Every major scientific breakthrough in our history looked terrifying in the beginning. Progress is taking risks. It often comes with side effects. He was commissioned to make hybrids, and that's what he did. And the Indominus wasn't a reckless experiment. It was master engineering. It could camouflage, it was super intelligent and strategic. Dr. Wu did his job, and he was the best at it, and so were the results. In the end, Dr. Wu found redemption for the experiments that he thought caused troubles. He didn't want money or fame. He wanted to share his creations with the world. He was a scientist that wanted to explore possibilities, not a villain. Now, let's examine the dinosaurs and their side of the story. Let's not forget that all villains had an origin story before they were marked as villains. The big one. And the big one story is one of those. She was engineered. She was made into a powerful, intelligent weapon and then got blamed for acting like a classic velociraptor. She was placed behind electric fences and made into a tourist attraction. She didn't choose this. She was a prisoner from the beginning. And what's gonna happen when the prisoner suddenly has the chance to escape and fight its captors? It will go mad, of course. It will remember all the mistreatment, all the goats it had to eat, and it will seek revenge. The Velociraptor's perception of humans was simple. For them, they were evil. If you were held prisoner by aliens your whole life, you would consider all of them evil. And if you had the chance for revenge, would you be a villain? The Spinosaurus. And Spinosaurus? Spinosaurus was just defending its territory. The plane crashed on the island. Spinosaurus didn't kill because he was a ruthless psycho. He simply had to defend the island from the invaders. This brave, strong predator is simply an alpha dinosaur. Do you blame the lion for being king of the jungle and for killing his enemies? You go to the island with loose dinosaurs and suddenly you blame nature? T-Rex didn't complain. He attacked the Spinosaurus. He knew all the risks. He was defeated. That doesn't make Spinosaurus a hero, but it doesn't make him a villain either. And what are his worst sins? He ate a few humans? It's what happens when you go to a restricted island. But Spinosaurus didn't have evil intentions. He fought against those he considered his enemies, and he was blamed for it. The Indominus Rex. And Indominus Rex is usually the one people really love to blame. They say she was a psychopathic hybrid who enjoyed killing. I say Indominus was a product of her environment, and a product of the dangerous DNA mix. It was super intelligent, but without social interactions, it couldn't develop empathy and understanding. It was made to be a killer, and it served that purpose. You can't blame it for being something it was designed to be. It was more than just a need to kill. It was instinct. Indominus's neglective creators shaped her. And while she isn't completely innocent either, a villain is a strong word. Some would say Indominus is a villain. I say it was a victim of human ignorance. The Indoraptor. And that same ignorance brings us to the Indoraptor. As a prototype hybrid, it was unstable from the beginning. But I say that was just an excuse to vilify it. The Indoraptor was isolated, tortured, and exploited. Its aggression wasn't just due by its genetics, but the byproduct of the abuse. It was made, like Indominus, to be a trained weapon, and people blame it for playing with its victims, for smiling. Well, It waited too long, and when it finally had the chance to fight those who oppress it, it did it with a smile. Whether you call it psychopathic or a villain, the Indoraptor took things personally, as it should have, and it took care of business. Giganotosaurus. But if there was an alleged villain that needed to be defended, it would be Giganotosaurus. All he did was live in the Biosense Valley ecosystem. It was its home and hunting ground, and suddenly humans showed up and called it a villain. It behaved like a normal apex predator. It fought with the enemies, it was big and dominant, and its size and power were a curse that marked it as a villain. The truth is, it was just an animal that followed its instincts. And it was just fighting for its territory, just like the other predators. All the villains had a clear reason for their actions. None of them woke up thinking how to simply destroy everything, except maybe the Indoraptor, but it had a good reason for that. The humans wanted scientific progress and futuristic business opportunities. Dennis Nedry wanted to be respected and appreciated, but the Dilophosaurus had other plans for him. The dinosaurs acted from instinct. They wanted to protect their territory, and they wanted revenge. They wanted to act against animal cruelty and human ignorance. Problems appeared, sure, but even the biggest villains deserve a break, and to be able to share their point of view. Did you like this video? If you did, make sure to check out our last video, the ultimate hybrid dinosaur.